Wow. Do our votes mean, well, anything anymore? Political floor crossers. Yeah, we put up with far too much in our society. Far too much. I mean, you vote for a candidate and for their political party. You take the time and effort required to go to the polling station. It's supposed to be the will of the people. At least as we're so often told. And then that candidate, he takes your will. Your vote for your beliefs. Your vote for a party. The vote you gave him. And what do they do with it? I mean, honestly, it's the equivalent of spitting on it or wiping their bum with it. And there they go. They cross the floor to the other party, to a different set of political beliefs. Not the ones you voted for. And I get that there is no law or regulation against this. Although, for the life of me, I can't figure out why there isn't. But I personally, and even though there's not a lot I can do, personally, but one thing I can do, I can turn my back on them. I can look down upon these politicians. There's no law that says I have to show respect for these people or goodwill towards them. If I choose, I can think of them as a traitor. The worst of the worst. And I could even write letters or phone their office. Or I could write the Liberal Party and tell them how disappointed I am that this is their take on democracy. Stealing from the other team, a win at any cost. Welcoming traitors. They're welcoming turncoats into their party. That's almost literal, isn't it? And honestly, I don't care if it's a conservative going over to the Liberals or a Liberal going over to the Conservatives or an NDP joining any other team besides its own. I find the very act of ignoring the will of the people, screwing over your voters, despicable. It's slimy. As I said, I think it's traitors. If we had any justice in this world, if we cared about the world actually being a decent place, even the Liberals would have turned their backs on these politicians. On somebody that has so few morals and such little loyalty that they would change teams halfway through the game. If any of them had been up front, said they were unhappy with their party, and stepped down, and then ran again in the next election, letting the voters choose who's going to sit in office, well, then I wouldn't be saying any of that. But the simple truth is that people who care so little about our political system, for what a vote should stand for, what it needs to stand for in order for democracy itself to be able to work. Somebody who would take that vote and then turn their back on the people who gave it to them. Someone like that should be shunned by our very society. I personally wouldn't even give these people the time of day, if I knew they were floor crossers. If I interacted with them at all, it would be simply to tell them how little I think of them. This is our country. We are the voters of this country. And we don't have to put up with all of this.